All right, coming up on First Look Asia, meet the artist driven by his passion for Formula One racing. Be right back.
Our next guest is an artist who's painted portraits of Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna, James Hunt, Jenson Button, and if by now you're guessing this man has an abiding passion for Formula One as well. That's right, he's painted many greats of the sport in his time, and with the Singapore Grand Prix just around the bend, we welcome to our studio the artist Paul Oz, who is in town for an upcoming exhibition featuring art in the fast lane. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
It's great to have you with us. Tell us first, we've been talking about it a bit this morning about sort of your 3D sort of effect that you get into your art. Could you just sort of elaborate a bit more about that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a series of different techniques I use, kind of accidental, the way I've discovered them, but now I make a point of joining them together to create the maximum depth and try and imply movement.
When you say accidental, has it been something you've developed over time? Has it changed quite a bit over time?
Yeah, I mean, it starts from dark for shadow, white for highlight, and then there's other little tricks with the spots and the splats that I use, which add energy and add depth and different planes in the images.
You actually aren't trained in art, though. You actually have a background in competitive sport and aerospace engineering. How did you end up doing this?
Well, I think it's the same mindset, I think. And yes, I've trained in aerospace engineering, various career progressions after that. I started painting when I stopped cycle racing, which was 2005. So I was quite good at school, but did nothing until 2005 when I was 28.
Oh, okay.
So it's gradually progressed from there. I got made redundant from my software sales job in 2009.
And that's the best thing that's ever happened to you.
There we go. There we go. It's
now you fly all over the world to paint these wonderful subjects.
Unbelievable. And there's nothing more invigorating than actually being able to call this work and to paint your passions.
What drew you to painting in the first place, and what sort of drew you in particular to painting sports related?
I mean, the first painting was simply because we moved into a brand new white apartment, and I wanted something for the wall. Walking around art galleries, I thought, well,
I can do that. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I'll have a go at that. And I bought a little pack of four different coloured paints and created something, which I still have.
Well, we have some images of some of your work. Can you walk us through some of them?
Sure, of course.
Okay, let's try to pull those out.
On the board for you to look at.
Perhaps we can start with Michael Schumacher.
An absolute iconic character. I actually created this for a big motorsport show in the UK in January. It's quite difficult to find images of drivers which look like them, because all you have is the eyes and the nose, and so it takes a long time to find a reference image, and then I talk with the photographers to get permission to use that normally. But between Schumacher and Senna, they're easily the most iconic people in the sport.
I mean, you did this before Schumacher's accident last year. Has it sort of brought on sort of more significance for you since then?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's again, such a big personality and such a tragic thing to have happened to him. Again, it is great that people actually use my images to remember him. I actually found this image being used on a massive website in America a couple of weeks ago. It's an absolute honour that people make that connection.
Okay, let's move on to this one. This is an image of Nigel Mansell who's driving, and Ayrton Senna sitting on top. It's quite. I remember this sort of the visual of this. It seemed like a nice gesture that he had picked him up and was driving him back.
So that was when Nigel won the British Grand Prix. I think it was '93 or '92, and then Senna had run out of fuel halfway around the race. And the story from that is that apparently as soon as Senna jumped off the car, he ran back to the pits and told them what he read on Mansell's steering wheel.
Really?
Yeah.
So that might have not been such a smart move for
No,
him.
exactly.
Although he had just won, so I guess I think it may have been the '91 Grand Prix.
And this one?
This piece was I actually created for the show at Icon Gallery, where I am this week. I actually created it for last year's show. It's great face to paint. Such strong characters.
Yeah, Ayrton
Because you're
Senna.
particularly
Just in case anyone out there wasn't
painting
sure.
Ayrton Senna is one of your big subjects, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yes.
What is it about him that draws you?
Well, he is the biggest personality in the whole of F1. The fact that he was killed so early in his life and probably only halfway through his career, it has made him immortal.
Speaking of big personalities, James Hunt, most recently people may have seen his sort of story played out through the film Rush.
Yes.
Also died at a young age, not related to racing, but he was a huge personality in the sport.
Most definitely. Something that can't really happen now. I think there's no stone left unturned, and performance is so focused now. But I was very privileged to be amongst the first in the world to watch Rush as well. I sat next to his son watching it, and then commissioned me to paint a portrait to mark 20 years.
Wow, so it's quite a privileged position to be in, to have
unbelievable, to be honest.
Does it still do you still sort of pinch yourself?
Yeah, almost every week.
Almost this pink helmet there with Jensen Button.
Now that's been incredible too. Literally in the last few weeks, I created this piece for this week's show.
But you can't show it.
No, I can't. Because thanks to the delights of social media, Jensen's bought it himself. So it's currently en route to Monaco.
Well, there you go. So, well, at least we get a picture of it to get an idea.
Indeed. And for the show at Icon Gallery, I've replaced it with another Jensen Button helmeted portrait as well.
Well, you find that quite a bit, right? The celebrities that you paint, they collect your art as well.
I mean, and
they commission you to do that.
How mad is that? Yeah, Bradley Wiggins commissioned me to mark his Olympic time trial victory.
That must be having a cycling background.
Yeah.
That must
As a competitive cyclist, I mean, I met him 15 years ago when he was already world champion then. But
and not just F1, not just racing. I saw some ones that you did of Muhammad Ali that were pretty cool.
Yes, that was for the Muhammad Ali commemorative company as well, so it's an official portrait as well.
So did you always have a bit of talent for art at school, or was it really?
Yeah, I was okay at school.
Yeah.
I didn't get particularly brilliant qualifications. I think I didn't fit into the boxes you need for a qualification. But I was persuaded to follow a more academic route. I was better at maths and physics on a grades perspective.
If you had to pick out one character that's been a subject matter for you, that's been the biggest influence, who would it be?
Ayrton Senna, without a doubt. Ayrton Senna.
And why?
Because of his status of the sport, because of the story. It's all about the mystique. I mean, there's others like Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. That was amazing.
It's again a great face to paint, and again immortal now.
Well, you also have all kinds of subjects, Star Trek included, superheroes. Which one do you think is the most challenging to paint of all your themes?
Superheroes are quite simple. Straightforward faces. It's all about finding the right reference image. But sometimes all of the characters and all the features aren't in the image to take from, so you have to join several photos together. But there's nothing I love more than something which is difficult.
Is there anything that you don't want to paint, that you would actually decline to?
I don't paint women well.
Really?
Yeah,
I actually noticed that none of our photos had women in it. Why is that?
Because
even
I think
when they've got helmets on?
Oh, come on.
Just the eyes.
I think my style's quite aggressive and it is quite masculine, and I do believe that once you know what you're doing and what you're good at, to focus on it. There's no.
I challenge you to do it because you said you like challenge.
There are some
Paul, you said you like challenge.
There are some
female drivers in motorsport as well.
Yeah,
in the US.
Yeah, definitely.
There's
Susan
some really
Wolf,
fierce characters out there. I think that you could do them justice.
then maybe you've just given me the reason.
Next time you come on the show.
I've got to ask you, someone who obviously follows F1 a lot, we've got a pretty tight title challenge, and this race here in Singapore could be crucial. Who do you see coming out on top?
I would be surprised if Lewis Hamilton didn't, but who knows?
Are you talking about just this race, or you mean
bit of bias?
I've rolled both.
Bit of bias.
Yeah, I'm British. I'm a patriot, so of course, Jensen or Lewis would be brilliant. There's one a bit more likely.
Certainly with the car under him at the moment as well. Anyway, thanks so much for coming in and speaking with us.
No, thank you. Thanks for asking me.
Thanks for coming in today. We were speaking with artist Paul Oz, who's in town for an exhibition called Speed. The exhibition put up by Icon Gallery as part of the official Grand Prix season in Singapore. It kicks off tomorrow, and it's Thursday the 18th of September, and ends its run on the 10th of October. So you've got some time to get down and check it out. For more details, do visit the website that's on your screen right now. And that wraps up the show for this Wednesday, the 17th of September. Join us again tomorrow. We've got we've got some more health interviews. We'll be talking about caregivers of dementia patients. We'll also...
That's right. And we also have a 101-year-old Japanese painter, guys. Can you imagine being that old and still being a master of your craft?
Yes, you see, Paul, you've got a long way to go in your career. You're still a young man.
Box office as well, although I don't see many people going to watch movies on the weekends. With
certainly here in Singapore with the F1 taking over everything, it'll be hard-pressed. Although there will be people that just aren't F1 fans, and if you aren't an F1 fan, then maybe we can give you some ideas of what to catch.
That's right.
Anyway, that's it for us for now today. We'll